Hi everybody, it's Martin. To remain in the Jehovah's Witness religion, you're not allowed to question the authority of the governing body. You're not allowed to talk against them, murmur against them. And the moment that you do that and it's picked up, you're normally disciplined quite quickly. To remain a Jehovah's Witness, you have to take part in the preaching work. You would not really be considered a good Jehovah's Witness if you didn't take part in the preaching work, either going on the carts or carrying out Bible studies. It's an evident demonstration to everyone else that you're taking your dedication to God quite seriously. That's one way in which people can sort of measure you. But the day that you question or ask a question that doesn't actually put the Jehovah's Witnesses in a good light and appears to find them wanting, if you ask a question like that to an elder, they pick up on it as if you're nitpicking, as if you're trying to find fault with the organisation, and thus they will say you're trying to find fault with Jehovah's organisation. So you're just not allowed to criticise that religion when you are part of it. And you might not want to criticise it, you just might want to ask a legitimate question, and you find that they're just not able to give you the answer to that question, really, because it's, for them to do that, they too would have to research, and they would then find things out about the religion that doesn't actually put it in a good light. But not to be able to even say, are we really sure that the governing body is the chosen line of communication between the sovereign Lord of the universe and mankind on earth today? Not even sort of to question that and say, well, how do we know? How do we know that those 5 men in upstate New York, Warwick headquarters, have been given some kind of spiritual commission? There's just no evidence that this has taken place. And I want to go back to when Moses was selected as the leader of the nation of Israel. At least back then, there was an evident demonstration to all those Israelites who were leaving Egypt at the time that Moses had been selected, that he just wasn't an ordinary person, that he was actually a favoured son. And obviously, being the favoured son, God bestowed him the ability to perform miracles. So the nation of Israel had this overwhelming evidence, and they saw it on numerous occasions, didn't they? What Moses could perform in the name of God. So if I was part of that nation of Israel back then, I wouldn't question it. I'd say, no, without doubt, Moses has been selected, because the evidence was overwhelming. But today, we just don't have such evidence that separates the governing body and puts them on this spiritual plane for everybody to see that they have been selected as the favoured sons of the earth. So we just have to take their word, or the present Jehovah's Witnesses in the world today have to take their word that Jehovah is using them and no one else. And this is where a lot of people who are not Jehovah's Witnesses would find that ridiculous, because don't we all have the right to question anything that we just don't feel completely 100% happy with? And questioning those niggling doubts that we have to delve and find scriptures that can counter the argument for why we may believe that they can't be that chosen line. They do things that are quite ordinary at times, and this doesn't give off any sort of confidence to any Jehovah's Witnesses when they do these ordinary things. And they certainly didn't rely on Jehovah, did they, during the apostate visit, which I found really quite surprising, because I just thought that they'll just leave everything as normal, and if they came through the door, it would all be taken care of in a theocratic and Christian way, in which and it didn't. It was a bit of a fiasco, to say the least. Just going to leave it there again. It's just something that's been on my mind, and when I've got something to say, I'd just like to say it. So thank you for listening. Bye bye.